In a country where a well-paid nurse is receiving 60,000 naira, how do you expect that person to pay 300,000 naira per verification? And you are saying it is non-refundable. 300,000 naira per verification. Welcome back to your favorite show, Diagnosis, where we try to discuss solutions to the many problems that plague the Nigerian healthcare system. I've missed you guys, and I know that I've been seeing all of the engagements on Twitter. We're now on X, the white coat on X. That's our handle on Twitter. Please follow us. I've been seeing all the engagements, the feedback, and I want to say that I am very grateful. On Instagram, on Spotify, you guys have really made this a worthwhile journey for me. So today we're going to be having a very important conversation, a very important discussion, and we're hoping to have a nurse, coming on the program. At least on Monday, we had a nurse that was supposed to come in today, but as is with everything in Nigeria, people want better, but nobody wants to be in the face of change. I understand her fears. I understand that she does not want to be out there, but you cannot continue to want better. You cannot continue to say you are advocating for change, and then when it's time for you to actually walk the talk, you take a back seat because you are afraid you'll be made a scapegoat. If you're not made a scapegoat, I'm sorry, I know nobody wants to be made a scapegoat, but somebody needs to bail the cat, and I am already putting myself out there. If I'm trying to say, let's join forces with the nurses, let's fight this ridiculous, memo that was put out. You shouldn't be saying you don't want to be on the forefront, you don't want to be made a scapegoat, because right now you are a scapegoat whether or not you like it. So it's time for us to walk the talk. We want better. We have to be ready to put in the work for better. So let's dive right into it. At exactly 10:04 p.m., when the witches and wizards were getting ready for their coven, the Nigerian Nursing and Midwifery Council decided to post a memo, just like was done on February. Why is February always the time they are doing these evil things? February 25th, 2023, we had INEC announce results at the witching hour. Now, after their witching hour meeting, or before their witching hour meeting, because they have to get ready by 10 to fly for their witching hour meeting by 3 or so, they now decided that, okay, let us post this circular out there that will further stifle the young Nigerian nurses. Why? That's the question. What exactly is this circular hoping to achieve? How do you say that, what was it? So first of all, I'm just going to read the circular out because it's ridiculous to say the least. Right? The revised guidelines for verification of certificates with the Nursing and Midwifery Council. So the Nursing and Midwifery, blah, blah, blah. Now, they say the applicants should visit a website and log in to initiate the verification application by clicking on the verification application link. First of all, I have a problem with this. Because I'm made to know that this link will take you to a portal where you click on the, you are able to input your details and send in the required documents, and then you'll be verified. But I'm also hearing that after clicking on that link and inputting your details, it takes the Nigerian Council, the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, a minimum of 6 months to process the verification of applications. It's not an automated system. All these things have been made easy. Technology has made all these things easy. It's an automated system. Click the link, input your details, put your supporting documents, and then you're verified within a matter of minutes. You can't even say it's traffic to your site because I don't get it. Why is it taking them 6 months as the minimum to verify a candidate? Secondly, a non-refundable fee per application shall be paid for verification to foreign boards of nursing as specified on the portal. This will cover for the cost of courier services. Okay, I don't understand. They can no longer just email these things. Can't you just send it as an email? Must it be a physical copy? Is that what the foreign boards of nursing are asking for? And if they are asking for that, why can't we make them understand that there's no point flying all these things anymore? There's no point flying in hard copies. This can be, maybe they don't know how to scan, because this picture that was posted on Twitter just seemed like something that they said, oh yeah, Benga or whoever, come here, bring down my phone. Come and snap this thing when NEPA had taken light, and then the person turn on the flash so it to be clear, snapped it and posted it like that. That is not even what a professional body should do. Not only did you post it at an hour that people would not see, you posted it when we were still, basking in the euphoria of Nigeria winning the match. You posted such a demoralizing news and then posted it like that, so haphazard. Like, why is it that for all these professional bodies in Nigeria, you see no professional conduct being exhibited by them whatsoever? Why? Okay, eligible applicants must now have a minimum of 2 years post-qualification experience from the date of issuance of permanent practicing license. So after your, for medical schools, for, health professionals, right, when we graduate, we're issued professional licenses to work. And then after your internship or housemanship or whatever, you now apply for your permanent license. So what they are saying is, after your internship, when you've now been certified, they will now give you your permanent license. And then 2 years after they have issued that permanent license is when you can now start applying for verification. I don't understand what is happening. Is it that the people that, it's not as if it's not an is it that question. I think the people that sit down in positions of power in this country are sniffing in, and they're sniffing in air that the rest of us are not sniffing, because their air is laced with something. Met, perhaps, I don't know. And now, the council shall request a letter of good standing from the CEO of applicant's place or places of work and the last nursing training institution at Abeg now. You don't only want to... This is actually just a very wicked thing to do. You're giving CEOs and MDs and school boards more power to frustrate the efforts of people. It is already widely known that in various institutions in this country, when you want to even go and collect a letter, a certificate, or anything from them, the way they will frustrate your life, they will not even want to send it via email. They will tell you to come. Let's say you schooled in Ekiti and you live in Abuja. They will tell you to come all the way. In an era where if you cannot afford flight tickets, you should be able to afford kidnapper's fee. How do you do these things without thinking? You claim to be a body that is supposed to be protective. What are you protecting when you are trying to kill the young people? Why is this country a country that just wants to steal dreams and kill the young? How else will this country progress if the young people continue to be stifled? You're not telling them that they should go to a CEO when we know that nurses are not well paid in the country. So what you're saying in essence is that a CEO has the right to now be mean to his nurse. If she says or he says, I'm leaving because you don't pay me well, you say, okay, I won't give you a certificate of good standing. That's what you're doing. That's the system you're creating, where people can further bully other people. And that's not fair, NMC. That is not fair. That is very wicked of you guys, NMCN. Very wicked. So which brings me to some questions, right? So the non-refundable fee per application, I heard that it has been increased to 300,000 naira. And I just want to be sure that I'm not, because I saw it and I want to know that this is true, because it seemed unbelievable to me. In a country where a well-paid nurse is receiving 60,000 naira, how do you expect that person to pay 300,000 naira per verification? And you are saying it is non-refundable. 300,000 naira per verification. In a country that is receiving where the nurse rather is receiving 60,000 naira and she's classified or he is classified as a well-paid nurse. If that's not wickedness, I don't know what is. Which begs the question, these regulatory bodies that we have, who regulates them? Is there like a board that tells them that you want to post this, you want to send this thing out, you want to make this kind of decision that will, affect people? Stand down. These are lives. These are lives you're playing with. You can't just sit down and make very wicked, proclamations, because this is not a well thought out. This is not a well thought out decision that a governing body should put out for the betterment of its people. This is a decree. We have decreed and declared that we will collect your money, we will make life difficult, we will not let you go in search of greener pastures. That's just what this is. And it is not fair. NMCN cannot post this at 10:07 when people are preparing to go to bed and then try to force it down people's throats. I stand with the nurses. Because if this flies, they come for the medical lab scientists, they come for the physiologists, they come for the doctors. If this flies. And I've heard over the years that that there has been this beef between the older generation of nurses and the younger generation of nurses, because the older generation of nurses don't have BSc, right? They're the ones that went to nursing school where they didn't get BSc. Meanwhile, the younger generation of nurses went to nursing. They went to universities. They obtained their BSc. They have, they are better placed in the job market, both in and outside of Nigeria. And I think it's just coming from a place of wickedness, because we know that most of the secretary, the people that are in these big positions of power, they are of the older generation, and they are not going anywhere. Their lives are already well established here. They've gotten married, they've had their children here. Most of them, after they've stolen some funds, their children might not even be in the country. So they're not bothered. They just want to make it so that this younger generation do not have a better life. This is now like a generational war. It's no longer a leader versus people war. This is a generational war. The generation, the boomers, they don't want these other young people, the millennials, they don't want the Gen Zs, the Gen Alphas, they don't want them to have a better life. I feel like that's just what's happening in Nigeria. Because I don't see how, I don't get it. There's a disconnect as to how this is happening, and it makes zero sense to me. No, it just seems like the NMCN, they just want to make money off of people and torture them. That's what it seems to me. It's like a child tells the parent, "Daddy, my roof is leaking," or "Mommy, my roof is leaking," and the mother takes off the roof and tells you to sit down inside there. Where she beats you, sun should shine on your head, you should die there, you should not complain. Nurses are going on strike on Monday, and my voice is with them. I am with them. We're all going on this strike together, because it makes no sense. We have to stand against these wicked policies that these people keep throwing and shoving down our throats. We should no longer be a country of complacent people that will just adjust to whatever wickedness that is thrown at them. There was somebody that gave an analogy of Nigeria one day, and he said that Nigerians have no wall. They have no limits, rather, that they can be pushed to. You push Nigerians to the wall, they will break down the wall and continue running. I feel like we've gotten to a point where we should be exhausted from running. It's a vast field. We're just running and running and running and running in the wrong direction. We should be exhausted from running. We should backtrack. And that's why I'm so happy that the nurses are fighting this, and they are being heard. They are really being heard, because you are seeing different councils, standing against this thing, and I love it. I love that they are doing that for them right now. Ondo State, Lagos State, you're seeing them that they are fighting against this wickedness, and they're saying to them, no, we stand with the nurses. You cannot continue to do this kind of things to us. You cannot continue to make such wicked proclamations and say that we should just take it without fighting. Come out on Monday, strike. Let them know. The body of heads of nursing services departments and principals of schools in federal health is standing with them, and many other bodies, they are standing with them. And I am just so proud of that. Make enough noise. Maybe that's why they want to regulate social media. Make enough noise so that these people know that we did not inherit the silence of our parents. We did not inherit the silence of that generation. We will fight it. We don't agree for anybody this year. And that is not just a slogan that should be for this year alone. Until we get what is due us in this country, until we get better leadership, not just in the government, but in different places where people hold power, we need to stand our ground. We need to say, we won't take this nonsense. We won't take this wickedness. We won't take this evil. Come out on Monday. Nurses, those that say, my mother is a nurse, my sister is a nurse, I've always wanted to marry a nurse. Lend your voice. This is where you go and find the nurse you want to marry. Those of you whose mothers are nurses, come and support them. Or better yet, if you know that your parents, mother, father, sits on the board of this NMCN, go and talk to them. If you know that they are heading positions of power in NMCN, go and talk to them. Because this is beginning to seem like NYSC, when everybody will be celebrating Mother's Day, but who are those wicked women in the NYSC offices? Go and talk to them. One of you is the person that posted this wicked picture by 10:07. Go and talk to your parents. Tell them that what they are doing is not fair. Start talking against this evil. It does not affect you directly, does not mean it will not affect you. Speak up against this. Stand your ground against wickedness. Stand your ground. We know they grieve for anybody. Let us actually start walking the talk. Anyway, don't forget to follow us. Don't forget to leave your feedback. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to spread the word. We are preaching the gospel of diagnosis. And by God, we will hold them until they give us better governance. We will hold them until we fix the Nigerian healthcare system. We will hold them until things start to become better for us. As always, I remain your favorite host, Catherine.